Welcome back. A few seasons ago, we carried out the Great NZ Where's My Money survey. You might have done it. Around 23% of the Kiwis we spoke to admitted they were relying on a Lotto win to fund their retirement. Now, the odds of winning Powerball and Lotto are around 1 in 38.3 million per line on your ticket. So I wanted to know, can it be done? Can we win our way out of the red? You're going to hear three types of wins today. A More FM listener who scored a year's worth of expenses, which is life-changing. An Enable Me coach is going to tell us about dealing with sudden cash injections. And at the end, the one you're waiting for, a real-life Lotto winner who won more than $10 million. First, though, how easy is it for me to win some money? Well, I went on a TV game show to find out. Stay with me. The payoff's worth it. This is Where's My Money.
Welcome to Where's My Money. One man, $1 million of debt, one podcast to find a way out.
It's August. I've flown to Sydney. I'm there for the long weekend. The weather's good. I'll catch up with some mates and probably drink some beers. But the reason I'm in Sydney, I'm heading to a huge TV studio to appear on the greatest game show format of all time. I'm going on The Chase. It was a bucket list experience, honestly. As someone who rates himself as a bit of a pub quiz genius, I thought I'd have a pretty good shot at winning some cash. Now, if you want to watch the full episode, go and check it out on TVNZ+. I'll leave the link in the show notes. But I'm about to spoil it, so tune out if you don't want to hear what happened. Spoiler, coming in 3, 2, 1. I didn't walk away with the cash. I held my own. I didn't look like a dick on screen, which was definitely my biggest concern. I got to meet the governess, the chaser. I got to beat the chaser. It was just awesome. I had an amazing time, but the whole experience made me think about why we chase wins in the first place. Because that game show rush definitely stays with you, even if you come second out of one. Most wins don't happen under TV lights, though. Sometimes it looks like a year's expenses paid. Let's hear how that landed for someone who actually lived it. Liv from North Canterbury. Wait till you hear what she won with More FM's Change Your Life.
Well, I won our mortgage paid for a year, our fuel and power paid for a year, bargain box for 1 year, so that's 5 meals a week for 52 weeks. We get 2 movie tickets every month, and we got Uber Eats vouchers. So it has been incredible.
Amazing. Truly a life-changing prize. And on top of that, the little cherry on the top is, of course, coaching from our friends at Enable Me.
And honestly, we've got, straight after I'm talking to you, we've got one of our meetings with Enable Me. We've had a couple so far, and our coach has been fabulous. She is so knowledgeable and really setting us up on the right track. Things we didn't actually know before talking to her, and we're like, oh wow, so making your money work better for you, making your bank work better for you. So we're so grateful and we're so thankful.
I'm so thrilled to hear some genuine passion, and working for the radio station, we came up with this prize and truly hope that it was going to change the life of a listener. How did it feel waking up the next day after hearing you'd won the prize?
Oh, honestly, it was insane. Even going to work, I don't know how we managed to go to work that morning.
Neither.
So it was announced at 7 o'clock in the morning, and like I said, I'd manifested it, and I was like, it's going to be us. It is going to be us. And when my phone rang on the bench, it was my husband and I just looked at each other and we're like, are you serious? And the whole week was amazing. From winning the prize to so much, so many people messaging and ringing. We really, really felt the love. It was amazing. And that whole week was we were just pinching ourselves. It was so cool.
That is just awesome to hear. It's cool to connect a radio promo and see it come to life with a winner.
Yeah, it was fair.
Let's be realistic. This isn't a Lotto Powerball win, right? This isn't $55 million turning up in your account. No. But what does this kind of prize mean to you? Because it has the potential to be truly life changing if you really make the most of it, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, like you said, if you make the most of it, 100%. So we could just go out and be like, we're just going to blow the whole lot.
Totally.
And,
No one would stop you.
like,
It was a lump.
no,
It was a lump sum in your bank account, right?
it was,
Yep.
yeah. So it ended up, being your mortgage over the year, what that was, and it is a lump sum that goes into your account.
Yep.
So, and obviously the bargain box is weekly. Once the money came through, we put it straight into savings because we wanted to wait. We put most of it in savings. We finished my husband's deck first. That was the most important
Yes.
thing.
Digger's deck was one of the most memorable parts of the
Yeah.
prize winning process.
So the deck is finished. It is complete.
That's great news.
But he did want a second deck. So
Come on, Digger.
a smaller one is going on the side, which is so cool. So, and then the rest of the money we put into savings because we wanted to wait till our Enable Me coaching started.
Fantastic.
As to what we were going to do with the rest and how we can utilize that money. So we've got Karen on board from Enable Me, and she is so knowledgeable. And she's like, Enable Me is amazing. They give you like I think it's like a 26-page like booklet of graphs and everything, what you're getting in, what you're spending, what your groceries are, what your power is, what all of those things, and puts it all into a graph. And like it's the frittering money that they try and stop and help you put that in so you can save more money and become mortgage free faster. Like that's what our goal is, to become mortgage free quicker, and just to live comfortably and more freer.
Yeah. What's the biggest thing you think is, what are you looking forward to most? Obviously, you're getting rid of some potentially little bad habits in terms of fritter, and you're aiming to be mortgage free. Have you had any wins yet? Like little wins already?
So we have had a couple of meetings with Karen, but this is more of the setup stuff.
Yeah.
So this is one of the last meetings today before she sets us out on her own and does our quarterly check-ins.
Be free, my children. Be free.
Which I'm a bit nervous about. So, but we really, really want this to work for us. So we just want to be keeping on track and doing exactly what she's telling us to do. And I'm really excited to see what this next 12 months brings. If we can stick to it and keep on track, it's very, very life-changing.
Totally.
And, she's pretty much for everything she said to us, we can cut our mortgage at the time in half that we will have it, which is incredible.
That's
just
awesome.
By doing these little things that she's helping us out with. I would recommend this program to anyone that can do it. When you have that much money go into your bank, it's really easy to think of everything that you could buy and that you would. But it is amazing. It's such an amazing feeling. And, you don't ever expect it to happen to you. And you never hear of people that it happens to that. So it was really cool.
Where's My Money is sponsored by Enable Me. Figuring out financials can be daunting. Master your money and stop living paycheck to paycheck. Get practical tips and expert advice on budgeting, debt management, and savings with Enable Me, helping Kiwis get money fit. A sudden break feels good, but it can get messy fast if you don't know what to do next. So I'm bringing in someone who deals with this every day. Karen is Liv's new Enable Me coach, and I need to know what happens when money arrives and your habits aren't quite ready yet. Karen, you're no stranger to Where's My Money. Thank you for joining us. Big windfalls might come in the form of, lotto or inheritance, any kind of cash prize. Obviously, your first piece of advice is probably reach out for advice, right? If that happens to you.
Completely. Yeah, 100%. Because, in my experience working in banks, we've had lotto winners that went from winning millions and then having nothing to show for it. So you've got to see someone, you've got to get a good plan, calm down, relax, enjoy.
Take a second, eh? Yeah.
Take a second, really have a good think about what you want to do and what you want to achieve.
Is there something scientific in letting them have one splurge just to get it out of their system?
Yes.
Because I feel like everyone has the idea, like they've spent it before they've won it and before it's even landed in their bank account.
Yeah.
Are they allowed to do one kind of silly special thing just to get it out of the system and then go into smart mode, or should they lock down straight away?
I think you should totally enjoy something from it. So wherever the windfalls come from, you should think about one thing you'd like to really do that you've not been able to. So whether it's a holiday, or whether it's like a Liv and Digger where somebody wanted to build a sun deck.
Digger's deck has become a legend.
Digger's deck, yes. So yeah, you should always do one thing that you're going to enjoy, that you look back and say, it's the one thing I did because I've always wanted to be able to do it, and I just couldn't afford to do it until the happened.
Yeah, nice. Make the most of it, right? So after that's out of the system, you've purged the splurge, so to speak. What steps should they then start taking in terms of building a strategy with this money?
I think really understanding what that money can do for them and where that money has come from. If it's a win, then obviously it's a bit unexpected. I mean, we all want to win Lotto. We all, every time we buy a ticket, we're all like, right, when I win, I'll do this, that, anything else. But I think it's really important to, like you say, take a step back, take a breath and think, we've got this money. It wasn't necessarily expected, but we need to make the most of it. So it's really about thinking about what you want to achieve with this money and making sure you sit down with someone that can help you make the most of it. So we don't want to fritter away an amazing windfall from wherever it come from.
And as per usual, it kind of comes back to the same message, which is having a goal, right? There's kind of no point in setting a plan if there's nowhere to aim for.
Yeah, that's right. And, like if it's a small windfall, it may not necessarily pay off a mortgage, but it actually puts you in that position where you can just get ahead of the game, where you can position yourself just to do so much better. If it's a massive big win, then obviously your whole life changes. So you've got to think about what life-changing goals you can actually set for you, your family, for other people. So, yeah, it's really important to stop and think about what this money could do for you, your family, the future for your family, and your family, friends, and everyone else that might come out of the woodwork.
On that, obviously reaching out to someone like Enable Me for some guidance and advice is paramount. But then, say I win $20 million in Lotto tomorrow. Fingers crossed. What do you think of the advice a lot of Lotto winners give, which is don't tell anyone? Is that a big factor when it comes to this? Because obviously it's your money and it's your strategy and your life that you want to plan, but what do you think about keeping it a secret?
I think it's really important to keep it under wraps because you're very excited about what's going on. You know it's going to make a massive difference to your life and your family's life. But once people start to hear about it, they actually, they might feel, well, maybe I should have some of that, like that's a lot of money. What's a couple of thousand or 100,000 or whatever is going to do? And then if you haven't got a good plan in place, you can start to give away or invest in things that you would never have considered if you hadn't had someone that can sit there and give you some guidance about what to do. Because a little bit of it is about putting guardrails up to stop you frittering the money, because it will be very easy just to fall into the fact that it's a lot of money. It will last forever. But if you start to make the wrong decisions, it can just disappear. And that's what we've seen numerous times where people have had big windfalls through Lotto.
Yeah.
And they look back and they regret the decisions that they made because they just made these impulse investments or giveaways or whatever it was, mad purchases sometimes.
Yeah. Even if you're feeling a little bit charitable, make sure you've got a plan to stick to.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Like it's life-changing for you, your family, and, pretty much anyone that you know if you manage it in the right way.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the golden piece of advice. Manage it, full stop. It needs to be managed. It's not something to just sit there and make you feel good. All right, Karen, thank you so much for your sage wisdom as per usual. I'll let you get back to fixing Liv and Digger's life.
Yeah, really looking forward to that. One of absolutely wonderful couple. Just, I know there's lots of people out there that could be in the same situation as them, but they're just absolutely so deserving, and really looking forward to the next 12 months helping them get ahead.
That advice makes sense when you're hearing about it from someone who's got some pretty good perspective. But what happens when the number is massive and it happens to you without warning? What does it feel like? Up next is the big one. A Lotto winner who went from ordinary life to my bank account looks permanently different now. This is the story you've been waiting for. Gerald Trass joins me on Where's My Money. Thank you for joining me. And you might be one of the luckiest guys I've ever spoken to.
Possibly. Actually, I was always lucky from when I was young, so I wasn't overly surprised when I got really lucky.
And how lucky did you get? Can you just walk me through exactly what you won, when you won it, how old were you? Just tell me the story.
Okay, it was November 2013, and I decided to buy a lotto ticket. I purchased it on the Saturday, and the prizes were announced that night. I didn't check my ticket that night. I wasn't feeling 100%. Sunday morning, I decided to go to the store where I bought it, which was a Four Square in Botany Downs in Auckland. And when I checked it, the machine made some interesting noises. So I handed the ticket to the store owner and said, would you mind checking this ticket for me? And he shook his head. And I asked him again, and he shook his head again, because he knew his store sold the winning ticket.
Oh, he was expecting it.
Yes, and he knew me because I shop there every day. So we knew each other quite well. So eventually he put it in his machine and immediately went and locked the front door of the store, kept me inside, and they had to do like a 1 hour security check or something. And that's when I realized that I had won.
Oh, what was going through your mind, Gerald?
Well, it was kind of weird because my mind was saying, wow, you've won, isn't that amazing? But because I wasn't feeling 100% physically, I couldn't feel anything. So I thought, oh, maybe I need to drop to my knees and be really, really thankful. And I did, and I felt stupid. And so I just stood up and yeah.
And what
my life changed on the spot.
No doubt. What, if you don't mind sharing, what was the total that you won from that ticket?
Just over 10 million.
Oh,
Somebody else struck the same numbers on that day.
wow.
But they didn't hit the Powerball.
Holy
So
moly.
we split the 1 million. That person got 500,000. I got the other half, and then I won the Powerball.
Unbelievable.
And from that moment, for the next month, I think I averaged 1 hour sleep per night, because I was so amped, just naturally amped, that I couldn't sleep. And I'd lie in bed for a little while and then just think, oh, this is a waste of time. So I'd just get up and do something.
My mind is just overloaded with questions right now, because I think we've all dreamt of being in that situation, of losing sleep, of going, what do I do? And what a magnificent feeling that must have been. Who was the first person you called once you'd left the store and done your security check? So many questions. Who'd you call first?
Well, my wife. I called my wife and I said, it was quite funny because I said, you don't have to worry about money anymore. And I expected her to go, why? What happened? And her reply was, oh, that's great. See you soon.
She just had no idea what was going on.
She didn't ask. She just had complete trust in me. And when I said we don't have to worry about money anymore, she was like, oh, that's good. I went and saw my brother, and he just didn't believe me.
Well, it's a pretty far-fetched thing to tell someone, right? Because the odds are so slim.
Yeah, and I had a very good friend who lived around the corner, and I ended up buying a very nice car after a day or two, and I went round to see him, and he was like, whoa, where did that come from? And I said, oh, I won Lotto. And I thought he believed me, but he didn't believe me. What he did was he hopped in his car afterwards. He went down to the store where I bought my lotto ticket, and he asked the owner, he said, did Gerald buy a ticket here? And the owner just shrugged his shoulders and said, oh, I don't know what you're talking about. And so then the next time I saw my friend, he said, oh, obviously you've inherited some money from your family.
No.
So I had to explain to him again, and show him the ticket.
Okay, so it appears as if the first major purchase you made was a really nice car. What was it?
Yes. I bought my brother an R35 Nissan GTR, brand new one. We were looking at it for a few days, and we went to sign the ownership papers, and my brother was with me, and I just passed it to him and said, it's yours. And he was pretty blown away. And then I went across the road and bought myself a Ferrari 4x8.
Oh my God.
On the same day. And it was kind of funny because my brother and I walked into the showroom, and we weren't that well dressed, shorts, t-shirt, and they weren't that keen on serving us. And so we decided to hop inside a car, which we did. And then they came rushing over, the salespeople, and said, can I help you?
No, don't sit in the cars. You can't afford this.
I said, yeah. I said, we're looking to buy a car. And he said, what's your budget, sir? And I said, well, I can buy anything you have in the showroom.
A couple times
at that
over.
Point, he nearly fell over and was extremely polite and sold me a car.
I bet he did. So, okay, so you'd obviously spent a bit of it in your head the second, because it didn't take you long to go and buy a couple of luxury cars, which I think we'd all probably go out and do. Was your brain kind of doing the devil and the angel thing? Like, I've got to go spend it, but I should invest this secure. What was going on in your mind in that sense? The emotional purchases versus practical investment.
Well, I've always been a car guy, so I wanted to tick off the car, and we bought a nice apartment in Auckland. In the first couple of weeks, and then the rest of it was invested in our bank in a term deposit situation.
And
because I wanted to be very careful, because I was conscious of not. Often in my life, I've not had a lot of money, so I knew what it was like to be poor or without a lot of money, and then suddenly I had a lot. So I thought, well, I need to take steps to make sure I keep it.
Great decision making. Did you feel pressure from people or from yourself to do anything with it quickly? Obviously you made your dream purchases, which were the cars, because you're a car guy, and I don't think anyone would judge you for doing that, because I think if any of us won Lotto, would want to go do something exciting that we feel like we deserve. And was there pressure to get it all sorted quickly, or were you okay with letting it sit there for a while before making a few other decisions?
There was zero pressure
Yeah.
from myself or from anyone else. And contrary to popular belief, nobody asked me for money.
Really?
Nobody.
That does always seem to be the fear, doesn't it? Is that people will turn up out of the woodwork and ask for money and ask for charity. And it's interesting. So you had none of that happen at all?
No. About a year or so after I won, a couple of people approached me to get some money for business ideas. So I said, well, show me your business plan and I'll consider it. Well, they never came back.
That sent them running. Okay, so you kind of saw through that one pretty quickly. Did you seek help when it came to building a sort of financial plan? Like you went and invested the money, which is a wise thing to do. You obviously want to keep it. Probably hold yourself from spending it all and blowing it all, because there's probably a real risk of getting so excited and blowing it all, but you don't seem like that kind of guy. But also knowing that it's going to continue to generate some kind of revenue for you. Did you get help on that? Was there any advice in that plan, or was that kind of just your own gut feel?
I did a lot of that myself. I had a bit of help from the bank, and from people I know who are professionals.
Yeah.
But yeah, the key thing was to take time, not to rush.
Did you notice any? I know that you've said no one really asked for charity from you. Did anyone else? Did their relationship with you change once they knew that you were a rich guy?
It did impact some relationships.
Yeah.
Not many, to be honest. Not many.
I think that's probably there's probably some sort of Kiwi, what would you call it? Some kind of camaraderie as Kiwis where we probably go, you know what, fucking like good on you. Instead of where's my bit or I want some, it's like, bro, that is awesome, good for you. Go and enjoy it.
Yeah, that's right. And to be fair, I think I was fairly generous with people I know.
It sounds it.
And we did activities together. We went, we did car racing, did various things. So yeah, people haven't missed out.
What's a common misconception people have about winning big? Was there anything, did it all play out differently to how you'd ever imagined it? Or had you ever even put that much thought into it?
I had imagined it, and it pretty much played out the way I thought, to be honest. It changes your life, like dramatically. It was hard to think of people having to go to work, their whole life to get to the point where I'd got so quickly. And I kind of felt I wish everyone could win Lotto. That was my feeling, to be honest. I just wanted everyone to have the experience that I had. It is a pretty mind-blowing experience.
And in terms of the experience, do you mean in terms of the euphoria of finding out and that those weeks that followed in terms of thinking about what you were going to do and how your life had changed, or the fact that, what you called your wife and said you would never have to stress again? There was no more money worries.
Yeah, I think it's a radical change of life, for sure. I know I see some people say, I'm going to... If I win Lotto, I'll keep working and just keep living my life. I don't think so. Not
with 10 mil in the bank?
Because so many opportunities open up. And prior to that, I was working very hard to make money. And, you're chasing money all the time. And all of a sudden, I didn't have to do that. That chase was gone. I didn't have to chase anymore. So it was a wonderful, wonderful feeling.
There's an old adage that says money can't buy you happiness. Is that a lie?
Yeah, that was a poor person who said that.
That's what I thought. I've always said that. Of course money can buy happiness. And if you've got lots of money, you're going to be real happy, right? I keep saying this.
To be fair, it doesn't buy ultimate happiness, but it alleviates a lot of the pressures, of having to go to work, having to meet payment deadlines, having to pay your mortgage every month or whatever, and it takes away a lot of that stress.
I think the happiness comes from freedom. Am I right? That's the connection.
Yeah, financial freedom is an amazing thing. My parents always taught me when we were growing up that once you have enough money, you don't need to worry about working anymore. In other words, don't be a slave to money like your whole life.
Yeah.
So I always had that in the back of my mind. And prior to winning Lotto, that wasn't a reality for me. I had to keep working to get by. But once I had enough, now I see friends in their 60s and 70s, and they're working like crazy, and they're multi-millionaires. And I always say to them, why are you still working? Like, why aren't you enjoying your family, your kids, your grandkids? Why aren't you doing the things you want to do, like travel or buying a car or whatever? And they always say to me, I've just got to make another, 10 million or 20 million or whatever. And I kind of feel sorry for them,
They're chasing the dragon, right? That chase will never finish if that's what you're after, right?
Yeah. And again, my parents instilled in me that the purpose for making money is to live your life and enjoy your life. Therefore, if you have enough to enjoy your life and to do what you want to do, then that's it. You've achieved your goal.
It's an interesting thought, and it's probably hard advice to give someone to recommend that they win Lotto, because you'd probably give everyone that advice, knowing that not everyone can win Lotto, and in fact, very few people will. What advice would you give to people about money and about just about it in general, investing, about risk, about retirement, about working? I mean, you've given some sage advice already about, not sweating it so much, but what advice would you give to someone who knows they're never going to win Lotto? Maybe they will. What would you tell them today?
I would say try and get money working for you rather than you working for money. And I guess that's the basic principle of investment. Invest in, I've got real estate, shares, some crypto, I guess a balanced investment portfolio that can look after you when you decide you have enough.
Very good advice. Well, Gerald, I really appreciate your time. It's been the interview that I've been waiting a long time for. Like I said, I've been trying to chase down a Lotto winner for a couple of years now, and it seems a lot of the people that do win Lotto sort of go to ground and we don't hear from them again. But I really appreciate you sharing your story, because you've actually got some really good advice for people, even if they're not going to win Lotto. Chances are I won't. But there's still great advice for someone like me who's still working, and my fiance, she's still working, and we've got $1 million of debt on the house, but the advice stays the same in terms of making money work for you instead of having to work for money, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
And
I've got a few more years on you, so
that's true. And yeah,
you might be very comfortable when you're my age. So,
and lightning might strike twice. Maybe I'll have to go. The funny thing is, I grew up in Botany Downs, so the Lotto ticket that you bought could have been my dad's. He'll be furious to know that I've spoken to you. He's been playing this game for years.
Well, I did have a friend who lived around the corner, and they were a little bit upset that they didn't win because they had like 4 children. I had 1. So they thought they deserved it more than me. But hey, the universe doesn't work that way,
Certainly not in the game of odds when it comes to one in millions, right?
Yeah, one in someone said 1 in 43 million. The way to think about it, if you drew a line from Auckland to Hamilton, a straight line, and you divide it into 1 centimetre pieces, right? And then you flew along on a plane and you drop 1 dart on that line. That's the odds that you can win Powerball.
Trying to win money can mean anything from being on a kick-ass game show like yours truly, to a year of bills paid, to a jackpot that flips your life on its head. Hell, it could be the membership draw at your local RSA. What stood out for me, though, the win is one part. What you do next is everything. It doesn't matter how you win it. The question stays the same. Where's your money going, and is it actually going to work for you long term? If you like this episode, share it with someone who dreams about a big break, and don't forget to give us a follow on Instagram, YouTube, and wherever you get your podcasts. In the next episode, I'm catching up with Katie and Shelley from Enable Me to take stock of 2025, how the financial landscape is a little different to 12 months ago, and how we can be ready to take on a new year with a potentially new you. How good does that sound? Maybe we won't need to ask the question, where's my money? Huge thanks to Enable Me for sponsoring this episode of Where's My Money? Navigating finances can be tricky. Take control of your finances and break the cycle of living paycheck to paycheck. Get tips and insights on budgeting, managing debt, and saving money with Enable Me, helping Kiwis get money fit.